You know, after that state of play, the internet's already probably just going on Twitter and going, I expected little and got nothing. That's just what the internet does. As the internet is already busy typing away their potential disappointments or defending, I don't know. The internet's freaking weird because this state of play we just got did the right thing, as I said previously, where they set expectations saying, look, we're not going to have any big PS5 announcements. We're going to touch upon some things, maybe sprinkle a little bit in. And I would say for the most part, this show that we just had, this PlayStation State of Play, just did that, and also didn't do much to really blow me away personally. They did do one thing though, sort of two things that really has me, I'm kind of on the Xbox side of things, but there's two things that PlayStation did here today that really had me go, respect, brother. What's up, fellow gamers? I want to know from you, what was probably your favorite, inside look, announcement, anything that you saw from the state of play, or just what did you think of it? But specifically, what was your favorite part about it? What was your favorite trailer? Just look, I want to know that in the comments and discuss that with you. And I'm going to share a bit of that for me today, and then kind of close out with the two things that really I gotta respect from this state of play. And honestly, they started off on a pretty good note, being Crash Bandicoot. That was a good way to just make people go, damn, you're starting with Crash. That's a good start. and while I myself am not really a Crash Bandicoot fan, yes, don't kill me, please. This was still a really good look at it. This was really like a good, polished, in-depth look at Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time, and showing you can play through the whole game apparently as, I forget, again, not a fan, but just as Crash's sister, and you have additional characters to play as, and split screen. That's awesome. It was a good look at the game. So that was a neat way to start off the show. But after that, in my opinion anyways, it was kind of just a lot of AA stuff, but it gets a Hitman trilogy. I gotta be honest, in terms of like announcements, this was probably my favorite for sure, because I'm not a Hitman fan. I respect the games immensely and have played them a decent amount, and I really respect them, but the idea of playing them in VR, that is dope. Like, I don't know, man. I don't, if you ever want to live being an assassin, this is going to be the closest thing. And I don't know if it's going to look like how they showed in that trailer, but it looked really polished. And I don't know, that was just really impressive. And them saying you can play the whole trilogy in VR as well. I don't know. I need to know more details. I'm recording this right off, like I just finished watching it. The Pathless was the most impressive to me in terms of animation. That's something I really have to point out for this whole show, is that the certain, like Crash Bandicoot, but especially just the Pathless, man, that game, its art direction is very stylized, and it's not like visually the best graphics or nothing, but that's just because they have a certain style they're going for. But the animation, so damn smooth. I have to say, that game just looks so damn smooth in terms of its animation. But we continue with more VR in Vader Immortal. That was another one that I was just like, dude, I want that. I really want that. And I'm going to give a spoiler to one of the two things that PlayStation really has over Xbox for me right now that I honestly forgot about. I really did forget about this. I always forget about this. PlayStation has VR, and decent VR at that, like if you do it on PC with, I forget what it is, but there's something, an Oculus. Yeah, those are gonna run better, but PlayStation VR, in my opinion, is just enough. And it's really cool to think there's the Hitman trilogy and now Vader Immortal, and soon Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I'm really jealous of people that have VR. And that's the one thing I forgot about PS5 that they're gonna have, that PS4 also has. And I'm just like, damn, dude, it's really tempting. It really is. We got Temtem, PlayStation Pokemon, and we got Genshin Impact, Anime Zelda. I more so have things to say about Genshin Impact because that game actually looks really freaking, just in terms of just gorgeous stuff. I'm not a big JRPG player. I know I have a ton of Kingdom Hearts fans, and I miss you guys, by the way. This game, I myself am not really gonna play, but I just admit in terms of like its presentation and art style looked really cool. I didn't care for Godfall. I still don't care for Godfall just because I try to avoid looter, shooter, slayer, caster, anything. And the main thing I really appreciate about this show, that overall, like, the show to me was the state of play. I'm really happy that we got one. I'm not a PlayStation person, you know, admit I kind of am teetering between Series X and PS5, but the thing that makes me happy is that there was a state of play, and there hasn't been a state of play since like March, so that's really cool. Nintendo, where you at? It was really underwhelming to me though, even though they set expectations, but even those expectations they set, it's like, we didn't really get to see, we only saw like what? 2, maybe 3 things from the PS5 showcase, which again, they set the expectations. People are gonna misinterpret what I'm saying. They're gonna be like, man, he thought the show sucked because he's not super duper happy. Look, people are fine to think something is just okay or good. That doesn't mean a thing is bad. It just means it was okay or good. And that doesn't mean people should lash out. I hate that. So I thought it was just an okay show. Was really impressed with the animation by the Pathless, and the VR thing, especially like that as an Xbox person really made me question things. But the big thing I got to give PlayStation props for is showing a shit ton of gameplay. Seriously, I was telling people this was going to be just like the May Inside Xbox, where it's focusing on a lot of AA titles and third-party stuff, which this exactly was. But this case, they really just showed gameplay, and yes, not all of it might have wowed people, but at least they got to see gameplay, and that's always the best way to sell your games instead of a cinematic thing. And I just really appreciate that. So thank you, PlayStation, for showing a ton of just straight gameplay in this. And no, don't compare this to the July Xbox show, because if this is comparable to anything, it's the May Inside Xbox. So don't be comparing anything in terms of like console war and shit. But if you do want to know what my thoughts were of the July showcase from Xbox, you could see that to the side and check that out and let me know your thoughts on that as well. And this showcase, be geek, be proud, be awesome.